Alright, let's try this for a third time. So, without any rambling, I'm gonna just get straight to the dream. So, in this dream, I know I was with my ex wife, um, and we were like going, we were looking for like food and I guess other things to like survive for the night. And I guess the whole feeling of this dream was that um, you can move around in the daytime, but at nighttime you wanted to be boarded up, locked up, like barricaded in some type of room for the evening. And I guess it was like the zombie apocalypse, you know. And I don't watch any type of secular TV or movies or anything right now. Like I'm, I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to be super obedient to the Lord, just because um, my life is different now. You know, like I've developed a relationship with the Lord to where I really do have to be perfect, like my Father in heaven is perfect, and I have to obey His commandments and dot my I's and cross my T's and just don't slip, you know. And obviously, I pray all the time, pray before I go to sleep and all that. But I guess yesterday I did kind of backslide a little bit because I watched a UFC fight, and that was something that the Lord has chastised me bit, over quite a bit. I was gonna say so. Um, I actually stopped like watching it, watching like boxing and MMA for a while because the Lord, uh, you know, conveyed it to me that I got to keep my eyes and my ears focused on pure things, and focused on Him at all times. So kind of like when Peter looked away from the Lord because of the wind and he started to sink in the water. That's kind of like where I'm at with the Lord right now. Just gotta be super focused. Of course, nobody's perfect. You can get burnt out on a lot of things, and sometimes I do get burnt out. Because I listen to so much of the same things, like the commandments of Jesus, and audiobooks in the Bible, and pastors preaching, and rapture dreams, and you know, attending online church, and praise and gospel, and worship music, and so yeah, sometimes I need a break from just receiving information, just media in general. Um, but then I don't want it to be quiet too long because the enemy's always there, right? So anyway, I woke up at like 3:45 and started this, but I did like two videos and they were just super long because I'm doing now, which is rambling. Even though I felt like everything I was saying is important, and I'm trying to figure out, because usually if I ask the Lord to, watch over me when I'm sleeping, I can avoid the demonic attacks in the dream realm. Um, I never really actually go to sleep because I'm always aware that I'm dreaming, so that sucks because there's really no breaks. But you know, in this dream, I don't know what was going on. It was probably post rapture. Uh, it was definitely the Great Tribulation, and one thing I noticed about like the there was just dead bodies everywhere in the apartment complex. They were just all piled up, like on the side of the road, right next to the apartment buildings, and it was just stacks and stacks of dead bodies, rows and rows of people. And so I seen like the apartment manager or like the leasing office manager or whatever for the apartment complex with the custodian or with the maintenance guy, and I think they were on like the golf cart or whatever. But I know they were moving around, and none of them were like cleaning up bodies, but they were doing something. I guess they're just going from like building to building or whatever. Uh, but when they seen me out with my ex, they were just like, um, "You guys should be indoors. You guys should be indoors right now." And I guess they knew that we were scavenging for like supplies and food or whatever, but it was getting dark, and so they were like, you guys don't have enough time to get indoors and barricade it. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, it's cool or whatever. And I noticed that the people didn't even they kind of abandoned their pets, like, but their pets were like chained up outside, and I was thinking like, well, why would they do that? Wouldn't the zombies get the dogs? I guess they wouldn't. I guess the zombies were just focused on attacking people, and so um the next scene we were like in we were being someone was letting us into their apartment, and I noticed that there was a lot of people in the apartment, not like a whole bunch of people, but there was like definitely a small gathering, maybe like five, six, seven people in there, and it was pretty spaced out, and it looked like that each apartment was connected to each other apartment through the inside. I don't know if you ever been to like a hotel and notice that there's a door inside of your hotel room that goes to the next hotel room, right? So like, I guess for people that rent out two rooms, maybe one for like their grandparents and another room for them or their family or the kids or whatever, but the rooms are connected. It was kind of like that. So I don't know if they went through the walls and created like doors or whatever or what it was, but I knew that you could get into the other apartment through the inside of an apartment or whatever, and that's how we were moving. And I was at this point I was getting the people through, so I'm like, it was like four or five, maybe six, seven people, and I'm like, go, go, go. I was gonna be the last one. And the other people in the room, they were all hanging out, nothing, no big deal. And I noticed, so I looked to the left, and I was like pushing like my ex-wife and some people through the door, and I'm like, nah, you guys go first, go ahead, And then when I before I turned to look at them to push them to the door, I seen, the other people in the other room. Um, Everybody was normal. But right when I was pushing that last person through, when I turned back and looked, one of the guys who was a normal just like a split second ago, I think he was like drinking, smoking, they were laughing, just socializing. I turned back and looked at him, and that quick, like split second, he just turned into a demon or turned into like a zombie demon. Like he just turned evil, and he tried to lunge after me, and I woke up. But yeah, I don't know what that means. I saw a video yesterday where somebody was saying that the 5G towers are going to activate the whatever the dormant, I guess, recombinant DNA or rDNA, whatever that was in the V, in the jab or whatever. So people that got that, you know, I guess I know there's been like a lot of bad side effects to it, but I guess it was saying that for the most part it remains dormant until those 5G towers are activated, and then when those are activated, um, people will just switch. Which I think basically what it comes down to is it'll allow the demons to take control, because what the demons are always around anyways, right? So back in the day when that dude had all them demons in him, and Jesus was like, what's your name? They said, we're Legion because we are many. And they're like, have you come before our appointed time? And they're like, don't send us to the abyss. And he he sent them to the pigs, to the swine, and then all the pigs ran into like the ocean and drowned themselves. Um, so we already know. Like I've seen people possessed, and I've actually was possessed one time too. Um, when I was younger, some guy uh, said he would smoke a blunt with me if I gave him some beer. And I was at a hotel, and I don't remember anything. I remember I went down to like his hotel room. I remember him uh, handing me the blunt, and then I woke up. When I came back, I was jumping on the bed in my hotel room, and my friends were yelling at me. And then I think I remember trying to run out of the hotel room, and the fire department was there, or something like that. And I charged towards them, and I think they moved, and I slammed into the balcony and fell over the balcony or something. And then I remember waking up in the hospital with that, and the guy that smoked a blunt with me, he was there, and he was like, "Don't tell the police that I smoked that with you." So I think I ended up finding out it was like formaldehyde or embalming fluid that was in the blunt, and that allowed me to be demonically possessed. And then I woke up under somebody's back porch, and there was like 20 police officers out there, and they took me to the police station, and they said somebody was coming to identify me because they said some women were attacked, and they came to the police station. They're like, "That's not him." I don't know what happened, but I know I was possessed, and my friends were telling me crazy stuff, and I don't know what happened because I wasn't in my body. And those scenes, those bits and pieces that I do remember, it was like I was watching me doing that stuff, but it wasn't me. Like me now, I'm talking like I could see my hands, and I know I'm in control of this body. When I was seeing those bits and pieces, I was like behind my body, and I could see me. It was like I was standing behind myself watching me do it, which is really weird. But I know it's real, and I just figured I'd share that dream. So um, pretty sure it probably has something to do with me watching the UFC fight last night because the Lord has chastised me about you know watching boxing or MMA. And for the most part, MMA can be pretty boring, because a lot of times it's just wrestling and jujitsu and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm super into it. And plus, I was just really listening to it in the background while I was working. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I'm at a point really in my walk with the Lord where I can't be doing any of that. It has to be 1,000,000% focused on Jesus. Tunnel vision. So I thought I'd share that.